Yo, hey, what's up, guys? So yesterday was the last day of Phoenix Comic-Con, and I do apologize for not putting up any video. Yesterday I came home pretty late. I was exhausted. I didn't have any time for editing whatsoever, so today being Monday, it's after work. I figured, you know what, let me put it together really quick. I didn't take a whole lot of video only because majority of the time I was standing in line to get autographs, or at least take pictures. And that kind of ruined my whole video taking moment. But I did take some really cool stuff. I also brought home some really cool stuff. So at the end of this video, expect kind of a haul, a video haul, if you want to say, stuff that I bought over there. Plus, I want to give my review on Phoenix Comic-Con. I've gone to all recent, or at least all 6 Comic-Cons that were here in Phoenix. And this one, I just figured, you know what, I want to do my own review only because I haven't really done one in the past. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this video and stay tuned to the very end. Thanks. So like I said, there really wasn't a whole lot of video. I do apologize. Majority of the time I was standing in line, especially for Christopher Lloyd. He was a little late. It kind of got me, you know, hot under the collar a little bit. But I'm pretty sure Comic-Con really wasn't at fault at that. So, like I said, standing in line for Christopher Lloyd. After that, I just wanted to go home. So let me just show you really quick the stuff that I picked up, plus my daughter. And after I show you what we got, I'll go ahead and give a review and talk about my impressions, the cons and the pros about Comic-Con. So check it out. So here are the last things that I picked up at Phoenix Comic-Con. Now a lot of you have already seen this. I showed this in a previous video. I did pick this up at Phoenix Comic-Con. However, at the time I didn't have any batteries to go in with this LED light. And it looks really cool. Once you turn this on, there's a bright little blue light. It looks really cool in the dark. So let me go ahead and show you guys what it looks like. Hold on. So here it is, guys. I'm not quite sure if the camera can give it justice, but it looks pretty cool in person. So again, if you've played the Fallout game, this quantum bottle looks exactly what it should look like within the game. Meaning if you picked up a quantum bottle, it would be glowing like a little bluish tint in it, only because it does contain radioactive kind of liquid or material from the the future nuclear war, if you want to say. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it, guys. I'm probably gonna have it displayed here on my desk a little bit, only because it looks really cool and I like it. So anyways, guys, I'm moving on. I do want to show you guys what my daughter picked up. She did pick up this really cool little cat. I believe she calls it a Pusheen. The next thing, guys, my daughter bought, it's a zombie alpaca. And it looks really cool. It's all black fabric, of course, and there are chunks of flesh taken out of the side, and as you can tell, I guess these are kind of resembling its rib cage. The next thing, guys, she bought, which she's kind of kind of second guessing if she bought, but she bought this really cool little panda hat. So let's see if we can get this in film here. The next thing, guys, that I'm going to show you is what I bought. Let me see if I can get this down in focus here. Now, a lot of you probably have seen my previous videos. I'll put a link here on the screen. In one of my local conventions, I showed off a garbage pail. I showed off a piece of artwork that I paid someone to do, and it has to do with Garbage Pail Kids. Hopefully the light can, there we go. Okay, well, over there at Phoenix Comic-Con, there was a new artist, and he was doing sketches there and doing them on actual blank sketch cards, and I asked if he can do one for me, and he did. Let's see if the light can pick this or not glare. Check that out, guys. Look how cool that looks. It is Cobra Commander. The guy, his name was Mark Pingator. There you go. Official Mark Pingator art card. So it's really cool. I'm going to add this to my collection, and a lot of you already know that every convention that I go to, I'm going to try to get maybe an artist, either local or out of state, to do a quick little card. Only because I'm starting to like Garbage Pail Kids. Only because I used to collect them when I was younger, and I think they're really cool, especially the obscured ones, something that you don't really normally see, like, for an example, a Hulk, a Venom, or a Cobra Commander. Something pop culture type would be really cool, so if the more people I can find that can do cards, I'm going to add them to my collection. And the last thing, guys, that I picked up there at Phoenix Comic-Con is this. So I picked this up off of eBay, and it's an original Back to the Future 2 movie poster. Now, the major identifying mark on why it's an original movie poster is the fact that it's a double-sided mirror poster. Meaning, of course, you have the front side, which, of course, displays the normal movie poster. On the back, if you flip the movie poster, you know, pretty much look on the back side, you'll see the same image, but it's mirrored. And that's kind of hard to duplicate. So this movie poster was, of course, you know, sent from movie studios over to movie theaters around the U.S. in order to promote or at least advertise the new Back to the Future 2 movie. And being the fact that Christopher Lloyd was coming here to Phoenix, Arizona, I figured it would be really cool to get this purchased and autographed by Christopher Lloyd, right? the crazy doctor from Back to the Future. So I did, and of course, like I said, I did stand in line for a little longer than I expected, but I'm glad I actually got there a little earlier because there are maybe, I would say, 20 people ahead of me. And the only reason why I'm not doing live video on this is because I don't have a picture frame for it yet. The movie poster is still rolled up and it's fragile. I don't want to bend or tear. So that's why I kind of have took a picture of it, and I'm showing you here in the video. So this part of the video, guys, I want to go ahead and give my 2 cents, or at least a review of Phoenix Comic-Con 2015. So feel free to end the video, close the video. There's not going to be really much any footage after this point. But hopefully my intent is to get some of this video, or at least a review out, so hopefully Phoenix Comic-Con 2016 can kind of get a better idea and maybe fix some flaws that how I saw this year. The first thing I want to talk about is the pros. Talk about everything that I liked, and the very end I'm going to talk about the negative aspects of Phoenix Comic-Con this year. So this year, 2015, I really liked the fact that they went ahead and split pretty much the con in 3 levels. There was the first, second, and third level. The first level was kind of mainly oriented towards like the sellers, the vendors that would sell. You would pretty much buy comic books, you would buy toys, you would buy artwork, and so forth. The second floor was mainly set up for panels. If you were an artist, or if you wanted to kind of give a presentation, or just talk about, you know, movies or anime, that was really cool. The third, the highest tier, the third level, was pretty much designated for autographs, you know, for cosplayers that had their own booths, for actors, stuff like that. And also, you know, for if you wanted to take pictures with cosplayers, you had little booths and kind of little little scenes set up, and that was really cool. I really liked that, and I'll tell you why. For the past couple years, Phoenix Comic-Con has been getting, you know, growing up numbers, you know, getting more people attending these events, and it's kind of been a headache going to these events and trying to look, at different booths of buying stuff when there's a booth right next to you kind of giving autographs. So there would be huge lines and there would be a lot of traffic. With me, guys, I really hate crowds. I really hate them. It not the fact that it annoys me, it just freaks me out. I hate being in a bunch of people where there's a lot of crowds. So whenever there is a crowd, I always want to hurry up and get out of there. I never really have a chance to look at a lot of things. In my videos, if you take a look at my other part 1, part 2, and part 3 video of Comic-Con this year, you'll notice that I did a lot more video, a lot more footage, and a lot more kind of looking around compared to other years. Because why? There wasn't a whole lot of foot traffic on the main kind of the selling floor. So that was a bonus for me. I'm like, oh man, thank God I can actually finally breathe to me and walk around. And because of that, I actually saw, a handful of handicapped people, in wheelchairs, and kind of like these, one person had a broken leg, and there was like a, kind of like a scooter where they had their leg on a scooter and they were kind of scooting by. And I thought that was really cool because it allows kind of, allows people that have handicap needs to go through and, take a look at stuff where before, I'm assuming, I'm just basing off as of an assumption. If I was in a wheelchair and I saw that crowd, I would say, forget it, I'm out of here. So again, there is a good point on that, and I really like the fact that, number one, it was separated. The third level, let me just jump right up to the third level. That was really cool because it seemed to really be organized. It had all the guests having their own specific booth, so you can stand in line and of course have autographs. That's really cool, and especially with the cosplayers going around taking pictures. There was just a lot more room, and kind of, we don't have to end up walking from one end of the con to another looking for a specific cosplayer, because it was all up there on the third level, and that was really cool. Now, another positive aspect that I really liked on Comic-Con this year was they separated, or at least they designated the escalators. When you would first walk into the Phoenix Comic-Con, in order to go down to the first level, or the vendor level, you would have to take an escalator. Well, that escalator only went down. There wasn't one coming up. In the previous years, it would be separated from an up and a down. And that would cause a lot of traffic. People wanted to go upstairs, people wanted to go downstairs. It would cause a lot of traffic jam, if you want to say. For your Phoenix Comic-Con people that are actually watching this, that are kind of getting a hint of like, hey, how did that work? That worked really well because, again, there was less foot traffic, less traffic jamming, and it allowed for people that were going into the event to pretty much be like, hey, where am I going? Oh, I'm seeing a lot of people go here. Let me just follow them. Another positive aspect was having, the vendors again. This is the second year that I actually saw food vendors outside, which is really cool because, again, inside, you don't want to really have a hamburger or fries or ice cream over and over again. It kind of gets boring. So they had separate food vendor trucks that were there selling a lot of stuff. And, having a different variety is always cool. And plus, it allows people to go outside instead of just staying inside the whole time. Pretty much at every door, or at least every entrance, they had a volunteer, an assistant with the doors. Now, I know in a previous Comic-Con video that I did, I think it was last year, maybe the year before, I did mention that it kind of sucked having everyone go through one door in order to enter the Comic-Con. And I pretty much asked, like, hey, why don't you have multiple people opening and closing doors? The very first day, I noticed that they had a few attendees, a few volunteers at every door, either directing people, hey, this door is closed because of certain reasons, or even though it was closed from the outside, they would still open and let people in as long as you had a badge. So that was really cool. So this way, you're not being funneled through one door. You can actually go through multiple doors, and that was really cool. The last thing that I really liked, guys, was on the third tier, the third level, they had the balcony open. So this way, people that are on the third floor, they can actually go outside in the balcony and take kind of pictures on the outside. So if you had cosplay, you had a really cool costume, you can be outside taking pictures with the downtown Phoenix landscape in the background. And that was really cool. I took a few pictures of me and my daughter out there. So I really enjoyed that. That was really cool, having the outdoor doors open. Now for the cons, guys, as for the negatives on this year's Comic-Con, there's a few that I'm hoping maybe next year can be addressed and hopefully fixed. Number one would have to be the lack of instructions, meaning if you want to navigate and find out where you're going in Comic-Con, of course you automatically have to have a book, the magazine. Now that's understandable. You want to go ahead and pass around or at least have the Comic-Con guide with you on hand. But sometimes just carrying that, having it all day with you in your pocket, kind of, having to rely, oh, let me get it out, that kind of just, I don't know, sometimes they'll get lost, they'll get dropped, and let me go find another guide, or let me rely on my friend. That kind of gets a little annoying a little bit. Only because, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's really helpful, I mean, having, all the times, all the places, but keep in mind, Comic-Con, there's just so many events, different times, so many things to do, it's hard to remember and keep track. I mean, no matter what, you always have to refer to your guide. Maybe having little menus up kind of inside the event center by doors, kind of like what you would find at a mall, a little kind of map. Like, you are here, this is here on the second floor, this is here, or just times, people in random spots through Comic-Con, like, hey, what time does that panel start? Like popular panels. If a certain artist or actor is giving a panel, oh, it starts at this time. This way, they don't have to, okay, what time does it start? Flip to the page, okay. Oh, well, it's on the second floor. It'd be much easier, in my opinion. That would work. The next thing that I found kind of annoying at Comic-Con was, I mean, of course, the food. The food was really expensive, but I don't really think Comic-Con can, the people there at Comic-Con can control that, because I believe the food inside the event was pretty much ran and controlled by the convention center. I mean, I can hear multiple people grouching about, man, $10 for just a hot dog, $5 just for a water. That's understandable, guys. I mean, I can get that, but you need to keep in mind that it does get pretty expensive. I mean, you're going to convention, that's kind of, understandable, and I can see people will take your own food or eat before. But I mean, if there's something that can be done, that'll be great. But if not, well, that's something that we're going to have to live by, or I'm just going to have to tell my friends and family, hey, you need to take your own food, because it does get expensive. The next thing, guys, I want to talk about is the negativity from vendors in regards to the separate levels, the multiple tiers. Only because I have a lot of friends there that were selling merchandise. And every guy that I talked to that was doing this pretty much kind of had a gripe like, hey, there aren't a whole lot of people here, not enough, like last year. And they're like, well, it's because of the multiple levels. This is from them I'm getting, okay? They pretty much, they were blaming the fact that there are multiple levels, and people that would go up to the second and third floor, they would never come back down in order to buy stuff. And that's somewhat true. And the reason why I say that is because it happened to me. On Sunday, my last day, I had every intent to go downstairs to the main vendor level and buy, some stuff. Me and my daughter had that intention to do that. However, on Sunday, I pretty much wanted to devote, fully autographs, pictures, and so forth on Sunday morning. This way we get it done, go back downstairs, buy, and leave. Buy some stuff and leave. Well, that didn't happen. And that's only because one of the actors there, Christopher Lloyd, he was late. So we had to stay in line and made it a little bit longer. The lines up there on the third floor were, of course, long because people wanted to take pictures. So there was a lot of people up there, plus waiting, got hungry, ate a little bit, and afterwards, me and my daughter were just tired. We wanted to head home. It was already, I believe, it was like 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and we were there in the early morning, and we were pretty much tired. We're like, yeah, let's just go home. So I can see that there were some people that just did not want to go back downstairs, because why it happened to me. And I can see when I was there on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, before Sunday, there wasn't a whole lot of foot traffic, but yet there were a lot of people I can see taking the escalators going up. So I can understand that there just weren't a whole lot of foot traffic for vendors for making sales. So I can't vouch if that's 100% true, because I don't know if they sold a whole lot or what their sales margins were. But I can see where, hey, that is a problem. Again, maybe advertising, having some vendors in the hallways or upstairs. Who knows? Trying to kind of influence people to go back downstairs like, hey, there's really cool stuff. There's really cool things. The last thing I do want to mention, I don't know if this can be controlled or maybe monitored, maybe a little bit. It seems as if all the vendors on the bottom floor were pretty much selling the same stuff, either from anime stuffed animals, a lot of wall scrolls, a lot of new pop stuff. I mean, it's cool, don't get me wrong. It's really cool seeing that stuff, but it was too consistent. There was not enough, I guess, not enough different items there to sell. I think there was only one vendor that I sold, only one vendor that I saw there that was selling vintage posters, and a few vendors there. You know, I think there was one or two selling video games, one maybe a handful selling old vintage toys. But again, it seemed as if pop figures just blew out the entire con. I did see, of course, a lot of custom artwork, custom pieces, which are really cool. But my point here is there a way to kind of control that? Be like, hey, there's a vendor that wants to sell. Well, what are you guys selling? Oh, pop figures. We have 10 already vendors selling pop figures. Do you want to sell something else? Can you sell something else? I mean, maybe suggesting, not really limiting, like saying no, but maybe suggesting, hey, we have 10 other people doing that. What else can you sell? I mean, maybe that would help the vendors sell more stuff if they knew that there was more competition. I don't know. I'm just saying, because like I said, every row, every aisle that I pretty much went through, it's like, oh, there's pops. Oh, there's pops again. Oh, there's this, there's animals. And it was just all over the place. And I'm just saying, that's shirts there, shirts there, shirts there, shirts there. I don't know. But that's just my 2 cents, guys. Hopefully, hope this wasn't too boring for you guys. Hope it gave kind of an incentive for you PhoenixCon developers, or if you want to say kind of put-togethers, people, if that made sense. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, hit me up. Let me know. Thanks for watching. Peace.